The last feature in working with coupons is coupon printing. This feature allows you to print the coupons you've created in our software. And we'll go to Inventory and then click Coupon Printing to open this feature. Now, there's some selections to be made in here. We'll skip this first option in here and come back to it a little later. The major two choices that you have in printing coupons with our software are two ways of printing on two types of paper usually. The one is one column of coupons. This method of printing prints one vertical column of coupons all stacked one on top of another, as shown in this little graphic in here. And the other one is full sheet, and that will do for normal sheets of paper, those kind of printers, regular home and office kind of printer that's 8.5 by 11 inches by size, as we call it, letter size, or as they call it internationally, A4 format, right? So going back to this one in here, the one column of coupons, if you're using some kind of a narrow paper, like maybe like a paper roll kind of printer, or some kind of a label maker printer, they usually have a paper roll on them that they use, so it's a narrow paper in a roll. This is suitable for you. And if you decide, once you start printing or test printing some coupons with this option, if you decide that they're just coming out vertically aligned bad in a way that's not suiting to you, it's like maybe too tight of a spacing in between them, they're like not spaced and not apart enough, that is what this first option is for, vertical spacing between coupons. And you just increase this number in here by however much you need to. You can test, play with it, and print, see if it's good for you, and if the coupons are finally coming out spaced enough so you can properly cut them, or good enough for a perforated paper, so you can just tear them up depending on what kind of paper or what kind of printer you're using. That is what this first option is for, and it of course only applies to this way of printing, to this method, the one column of coupons vertical printing method. Now the full sheet, the most common question for the full sheet becomes if we are printing the coupons all on a big sheet of paper, standard letter size, let's say, on a standard printer, how do we make sure that we maximize the space and we space them out properly and they're of the correct size? And maybe somebody's going to want larger coupons, so there's going to be fewer columns and fewer rows in here, meaning fewer coupons are going to be printed on the sheet. Somebody's going to want smaller coupons with more columns and more rows in the outcome, meaning more coupons on one sheet. And how do we reconcile all that and not make a big whole grid of settings that you gotta put in and figure out, with vertical spacing, horizontal spacing, size of coupon, this many on the sheet, so many columns, so many rows. We take the guesswork out of that by using standards for this problem, standards of printing. They're usually called labels and usually used in this process, which is usually named like a mail merge, even though many times has nothing to do with mail. And it's adopted by Microsoft Word and many other programs that deal with this kind of problem. And the standards are all listed down here, and you can just select them. And you can even go to the store and buy yourself a perforated paper by this standard and make your task easy. Then you can just tear up the coupons instead of having to cut them. We have a lot of Avery labels, a lot of Dymo labels, if you're familiar with the Dymo printers, Office Depot labels, Staples labels. These are all standards that we put in from Microsoft Word in order for all of this to work with Microsoft Word. So The default label that's selected in here is Avery 5160, but obviously you can pick whatever you want, as you just saw. So let's stick to 5160 for this example. It's one of the most used label standards in computing. So let's do 5160 for this example. Now the option above here that I kind of skipped previously is basically asking you if this sheet, maybe this Avery 5160 perforated sheet that you bought from the store, and you don't want to throw them away because you paid good money for them. Maybe you have a half-used sheet from a previous printing job, and now you want to start somewhere in the middle. You don't want to start from the beginning, right? Like let's say on this picture in here, let's say label 1 is taken, used already, label 2 is used already, and you want to start at position 3 right here and print onward, right? Then I'll tell it to start printing at position 3. That's what this option here is for. Of course, the default is position 1 if it's a blank new sheet, right? But keep in mind, you don't have to buy these Avery easy peel labels or perforated or whatever. You select the standard that you want, and then you can print on regular paper and then just cut them yourself with scissors or some cutting tool. But for this purpose, in order to meet all the standards and dimensions, and so you don't have to tinker with dimensions and alignment and different things, what we do is, if you select full sheet, this option does a mail merge to Microsoft Word and respects the format that you chose in here. So right now, as soon as we set up everything here, hit print coupons, since we selected full sheet and now this one in here, it's not just gonna print, it's gonna take you to your Word program. So for that, you must have Microsoft Word on your computer, and it's gonna align them properly in there for you, do all the job automatically for you, and all you're gonna have to do is hit print in Word. The last thing you need to set up in here is what coupons you want printed and how many of them. So we're going to select the coupon. This is the coupon that we created in one of the previous tutorials. New coupon 1 is what we named it. And let's say we need 10 of those. I'll click add, and it adds it to the list of printing task, if you will, print job, if you will, which can contain just this one coupon, quantity 10 of it, but just this one coupon instance. Or if you need more, you can go back to the drop down menu, select another one, select the quantity for it, click add, it's going to add that to it, and you can go back and add as many until you complete your list and you're satisfied with your printing task that you've set up. It's going to have all the coupons in here with all their quantities, and you can go on to printing, which is what I'll do right now. I'll click print coupons now, and as you can see, that took us right into Word. This is Word. I'm just showing you the sheet right now, not the full header or Word and all that. Not like you haven't seen that program before. So we started printing, as we said, from the 3rd position on this sheet. As you can see, position 1 is clear, position 2 is clear. It started printing from 3rd position and on, and it did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 labels, as we told it, quantity 10. So all you gotta do now, as you're in Word, is hit print, and this will print on your printer. If you selected a different label, not Avery 5160, if you selected a different format, this would look differently. Maybe more coupons, but they're tighter, tinier, or less coupons, but they're large.